Mindset is 80% of a person's life and success, because it decides from all the inputs you get in your life, what inputs you perceive, so where do you shift your focus towards, and also how you perceive them and how you react to them. So the art and the science of thinking and treating your mind the right way is like life defining. It decides, like, everything is just up here. And this is not gonna be a bullshit guide with terms that don't mean anything. I could give hundreds of lessons about mindset, but I'm gonna give 20 plus of the most important ones that I could think about, and that impacted me the most, because the mindset is the only thing. Your mind is the only thing you own. If everything is taken from you, it's the only thing you can control, and it's it makes up everything. Your mind, of course, evolutionary, is primarily there to make it easy for you to get you into comfort and stuff, and we're gonna get into a lot of mindset lessons today. So the first one is the bounce back effect. So you have two lines, okay? The lower line is the lowest expectations, right? And the highest is the highest expectations. And your life then is this red line, okay? So you're on this super low in your life. You're 8 donuts, or you're like, oh, I gained so much fat, and then you are so disgusted from yourself, or you really don't see yourself doing like these disgusting things, and then you are so motivated and disgusted that you want to improve, and you just have to get out of there. It's almost a force. But the same way, also, if you hit your highest expectations, it's now I'm close to getting a six pack, or I already have one, or like I achieved my goals, I'm now into my identity, like everything else is above myself, and you're plateauing, you're dropping down again, you're getting comfortable, you're not in its lowest form anymore, so it goes down again. So what you have to do is consistently raise the higher line. You raise the higher line up and up and up. You always raise your expectations, your identity of yourself, and also raise the lower line. So you have to always raise your expectations of yourself, what you would never do, and what you should do, like raise your goals, because this happened to me so much. I was close to six pack, then not again. I fell down again, and then you get up a little more, and then it can go up like this. But also, mental toughness is defined by how long can you basically go up, but then also when you fall, how much you fall. Like, can you save yourself after a few days of, for example, not sticking to your diet, and if you fall, how long, of course, but also how fast, how deep, and how long do you take to get back up again, right? Like, to get your shit together, and then how long to get back up again. So mental toughness is not only how fast you can go up, but also how deep do you crash when you crash, how much is your resistance. And what I learned is, every time I'm onto one of these lows, I'm making an after action report. So I'm just writing down, what did I do wrong, did I think while I was down, did I think while I was up, like what happened basically. So you always have to raise these lines, and once you crash, you have to always analyze, come back stronger with new lessons to learn. So since I said already in the intro, your mind is the only thing you can control, I'm gonna give you a little example of the next lesson, because the next lesson is basically that you are a single player, and you just perceive other people. And I was, for example, I was sitting on the toilet, and people from the school, they just threw water onto the toilet, and I was reading a book, so my entire book was wet, and I was like, with no reason, it was just, bullying me or whatever, bullying, and it's a single player mode, and you can't control them. You can't control other people. The only thing you can control is your mind, not the circumstances, right? So you have to perceive, just be like, okay, they did that, but it has nothing to do with me. I control my mind, and you can actually then just say, oh, it's a beautiful, you can see the most beautiful sunrise in that. You can just say, oh, I'm still having a beautiful day on the toilet. My book is wet, but it doesn't matter to me. Like, it's my mind, and no matter what happens on this earth, I can just see things beautiful. I don't have to perceive these negative things, and I can completely decide what I perceive. I can completely decide what I make out of my mind. Like, I was not mad at them. I didn't see it as a bad thing. I saw the beauty and the beauty of humanity, basically. So it's a single player thing, like there are a lot of planes flying by right now this morning. I could say, oh, I don't want to record a video, like every 2 minutes it makes a weird sound, but at the end of the day, it's your life, and you have to decide, is this really something you want to focus on? Like, not at all. The next thing is, right, I run every morning, most of the time since I'm 16. Now I'm almost 19, and I've ran like 2 years, and then I ran 1 year, and then I hit 20 kilometers. So right, usually every day I run 7 kilometers. My highest was 20, like a year ago. But then I was sick 2 weeks. Okay, I was sick 2 weeks, and I was like doing 2 kilometers for 2 days just to recover. But then, I watched the David Goggins podcast, and the next day I was just 40. Like, I was planning on doing 30. I was planning on doing 30 kilometers, because I was like, okay, my previous was 20. Come on, let's go. We just do 30, and then I was doing 40. I was doing 40 because I, messed up the route, and I was doing 40 basically. So, almost 40. And this made me realize, like, I was running for 5.5 after being sick for 2 weeks, like 2 times in a row. And this made me realize, like, how much wasted potential does a human have? Like, where's the cap? Like, how much could I have kept running? Because if I believed, this was the limit, and then I did this, and David Goggins says it's a 30% rule, right? Like, when your mind wants to give up, you usually have like 60% left, because, it's a safety mechanism. It's like a regulator telling you to stop. So you have a lot of wasted potential, and sometimes even when I work, this happened to me. I was like, oh, I'm working, and I'm hitting super like 13-hour days, and then the next day I would do 16-hour days. Is there even more and more? It's getting crazier and crazier. So you have so much potential left, and when your mind tells you to stop, usually it's far off to stop, and you have to find everything of who you are and all your potential. You don't waste your life with so much potential. When you could have been so great, like, people think that's the limit, or that's the normal, that's the average. You have so much more in yourself. You could run tomorrow 20 kilometers probably, or double your record easily, just by controlling your mind and adapting to it. You can go so much further, find every bit of who you are. Like, at the end of these 5 hours, every question I had in my mind was answered. I was like, I know why I went that distance, I was like 5 hours. Like, I just know that I have so much more potential in me, There's so much you can do that you just don't see right now, because you are not testing your limits. Okay, so the next thing is, this is a guy right now, you on your current income, and let's just say, for simplicity, you make 500 a month right now. Bro, my trunks is crazy. Let's say this is you, okay? I'll give you a little bit of hair. Okay, so 500 a month. And then you want to get to 10k a month, okay? So for doing that, you have to become a new person. You know, it's a different person. This is a different person. This is you at 500, this is you at 10k. So you have to really think about what habits does this person have, what is this person doing differently than me. Every time you want to call it a day, or you want to quit when you're at 5 kilometers or whatever, how would this person decide doing the 10k a month, or doing whatever your goal is, whatever new identity? Like, how would the stronger version of me react? Because it's different habits that give you different results, right? And it's the best way to drastically change your habits is drastically changing your identity. I give you an example. If I were to try to get a six-pack, I would, and this is like realistically what, but I'm gonna make another video about this. I was basically not saying, oh, no, I'm gonna slowly adjust my diet, a little changing my workout plan. I'm completely trying to get me into a new identity. So to drastically change and improve the probabilities of success, you have to be like, okay, I'm a different person, different perspective on life. So now I'm not only gonna start working out every day, running every day, tracking everything. I'm also doing skincare now in the morning. I'm all about optimizing your health, all about optimizing my entire health. I'm gonna figure everything out, become the most healthiest person. So every morning right now, for the last few months, I've been doing ice cubes on my face, cleaning my tongue, brushing my teeth super. I was even going to the dentist to get even more on the thing, you know, more insecurities cleaned. Figuring out like what's all this like skincare, like looks maxing, whatever you want to call it, about, you know. So some like, not because if you stay in your old identity and you get new habits, you adjust your old identity with improved habits. But you don't want to be that. You want to be a new identity that has these approved habits. I hope you understand this. That you don't improve your habits, you change your identity that has these improved habits. And to just make drastic changes, no small adjustments. You know, I'm not talking about coloring your or cutting your hair off. I'm talking about actually new habits. You know, so the next thing, and this is what causes a lot of pain in my opinion, is when people get too attached. Attachment, you know, I made like mindset videos about certain lessons, also about this one, you know, hate traps on my channel, where I also talk about attachment, but it's also materialistic things, right? So you get materialistically attached to things, and then, for example, you buy a shoe. I see this with people in school. You step them on the shoe, and then they basically they get upset because they are materialistically attached, and they buy things they can't afford twice, and you know, and then it causes damage. Be free. There is only you exist in your mind. Only you exist. There's no materials, you know, and don't get attached to anything. If you buy a shoe, then already expect it to be completely worthless. You can have it and you can have joy in it, but if it's gone, it's gone, you know. So this is something really important, and I see it causing a lot of pain. The next thing is, I got confronted with this a lot. So you have a lot of negative voices, right? You have people telling you negative things from school, from home, from friends, whatever, that you are worthless, or that you are a bad person, or that you are stupid, whatever it is, any negative talk, you know, that you can't do something. So if these people say that, then you can actually use that, and you can pull this negative energy out of it. So the best case is if you have like a voice note, if you have like a voice mail that is like a lot of negativity. For example, I had a voicemail where people would bully me, like they had a group chat on WhatsApp and they would. One guy said, sent a voicemail, oh, let's bully Romeo, let's figure something out, we have to make a plan so we can annoy him even more. He was like the main bully, but then, in all these negative things, or David Goggins did it with comments, right? Like reading hate comments and doing it into a voice, and then, or also, if you have like any negativity that people tell you, you can always rewire that into your brain. It's gonna neutralize it and it's gonna give you energy. It's gonna be like, yes, you call me that, and now it's time to shine. It's like okay, I'm too weak. I'm too weak, and then let's get it, okay? And like you can really, out of your deepest things, or like something bad happened to you. Yes, this happened to me. Something bad happened to me. I'm here now. Like you can pull negative energy out of this. You can be like, this is what made me, and it's completely gonna burn into your head and give you more strength. Okay, so the next thing is the universe. Okay, you have different universe parallels based on your decision. Like, what decision do you make changes the outlook of the universe, and changes your identity, right? So you have to always stick to that identity in that universe that you want to be in, basically. So success is always new every day. Every day is day one, okay? Because it's your decisions, and you can fall off pretty quickly. Like if things are going well, it can easily all break, basically. And this is gonna get us again to the example from the first lesson. So it's always every day new. You don't have to be like, oh no, every day it could collapse. No, be calm, trust in yourself that you can, like I mentioned previously, you can basically bounce back again pretty fast, and that you don't crash too much. But trust yourself that you can do it, and that you are calm, and that you have good momentum. But don't get calm onto the idea that you can, that you just made it now. They are like, you never made it, you're never finished. It's always a war with your mind. And the worst thing that can happen to a man, as David Goggins said, is to become civilized. Oh, now I'm retired, now I'm civilized, now I'm normal. No, bro, no, there's no such thing. um, the next thing is, every situation in your life is an island, okay? There are like different islands. Some people are on the 10k island, on the 100k island, on the 1k island, on the 6-pack island, on the losing fat island, on the 30% body fat island, whatever island it is, okay? And there are billions of islands. You can make islands yourself. There are a lot of islands, and you are always traveling in a boat from island to island, okay? Bro, okay, so you're always traveling, and the important thing is not the island itself. Because think about it, what people are gonna talk about on these islands? What people are gonna talk about? They're not gonna talk about, oh look about my watch, look about my 6-pack, because on that island everybody can afford that watch. Everybody has that 6-pack. The important part is how you got there. People are gonna talk about, oh, I got rich that way, I got rich that way. It's about the journey. So try to enjoy the journey. I'm always doing that. I'm always saying to myself, it's not about, I want to be rich. I want to enjoy that journey right now of getting rich, of getting all this experience. This experience is so valuable. Like, where's the point in going to zero? Where's the point in going bankrupt? Where's the point in gaining a lot of fat in a few months? The point is that you are at rock bottom, that you gain new insights, new personal development, and that you get to the next island. And the next island is going to give you knowledge to the next island. But it's all about that journey. Focus on the journey. They talk about the stories. So the next thing is, obviously, a day, and this kind of goes into the prior example. One day off, is not gonna hurt your muscle growth. So if you have Oh, bro, are my drawings. Like, this is a muscle, okay? It's not gonna hurt you, your muscle, really, like your body. But what it's gonna do is it's gonna hurt your brain. So, basically, um, you train your mind every day, right? You train your mind to keep pushing through the shit stuff. So, if things get shit one day, you are ready. So you always train for no purpose, even if there's no purpose, even if there's no goal inside, right? There's no goal. You just train anyways because you have to be ready in your mind for the shit stuff. You have to be completely focused. Just train because you are training just to show up every day, just to get up. You know, you train to get up. You train your mind to become resistant, and no motivation. You are just ready, and you train for no purpose. You could even say, okay, there's no goal, there's no marathon I'm gonna run the next month. There's no, like, all the bills are paid, whatever, and you're just still gonna grind because at some point there's gonna be life situations, or like there's gonna be stuff that sucks, and then you are used to doing the stuff that sucks, and then you're ready for it, and the others, it won't suck that much anymore because you are used to it. Do suck stuff every day, so when the suck stuff comes, then you're ready for it. That's the David Goggins quote too. Again, I recommend you the book, Can't Hurt Me. It's great. So just train without purpose, because also, like, when the distance is unknown, right? When you don't know where the goal is gonna be, just push through. You don't know if your diet ends in a few weeks. You don't know if you're gonna reach soon. You don't know. Just keep pushing. That's, how you're gonna, like, how do you think when you don't have a clear end date? You have to keep your mind in control. Then you have to be like, I'm just gonna push anyways. You know. So the next thing is people misunderstanding you, right? You have certain goals, and people don't see your goals. People don't can't comprehend them. So for example, I was telling that I'm running at uh, f- 5 a.m. in the morning, and people start laughing because they thought it's a joke. Or like, oh, that's crazy, why would you do that? You're misunderstood. You're so obsessed with your goal. You're so your plans are so high that people think it's a joke. I was telling in once when I was in school, I was telling a friend, oh, I want to actually run a business, and I want to focus all on that. And then a week later he asked me, okay, what do you actually want to do after school? Uh, and yeah, he actually thought it was a joke, it was like, no, really, like, you get misunderstood, or like, why couldn't you run just at 7 a.m.? Why do you have to go at 5 a.m.? Like, be so obsessed with the craft that people can't understand it, or people think you're crazy, or people think you are greedy, or whatever it is. Just, you put everything in your life into that. You wake up and you just do that, and that's a good sign that you are misunderstood, because it means you're breaking out of this, like, average waves of thoughts, because the average waves of thoughts is not successful. So it's a good sign that you break out. It's a good sign that people don't understand it, and that that it looks crazy to other people, because that is what it takes. That your mom tells you, go a little bit slower, whatever. Like, you have to find that crazy spot. The next thing is a famous quote from Charlie Munger. It's a big investor. He passed away 1 year ago, rest in peace. And he had this big principle that is called invert, always invert. Invert. So if you want to lose weight, then you would say, how could I gain as much weight as possible? Or how could I make it so there's no chance that I'm gonna lose that weight? Or for his as an investor principle, but you can portray it as anything in life. How could this stock investment go super wrong? Like, what decisions would I have to make so I lose a lot of money in the stock market? Like, always think about how you could make that wrong, or how you could make your process wrong, or what could go wrong, and then you can invert from that. You could say, oh, I would have to eat a lot, so I'm not gonna do that, or I would have to have a lot of like food right next to me every day. So that's something. And 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 like, how could this go wrong? Guaranteed. And then you just invert and re-engineer from that. um, the next thing is, especially on you see it on social media when people post something, you see it in school. You have all these people, and they face different, they face different problems, they play different levels, and obviously everybody in their own speed is bullshit. Like, speed is quality, and you are obviously competing, but everybody has their own problems in their own order, basically. And you can't, like, for example, I learned a lot by investing for 2 years. I didn't make any money with that. I learned a lot about short form content, about making movies. I didn't make any money. I'm still basically at low income, still worse financial situations than most people. But I already learned mindset lessons. I already learned a lot of business lessons. I already, like, some people, they are always fit. They are always they were born checked. They never were fat. That's what I'm saying. They were born rich or whatever. Like, these people are maybe ahead of you, but they haven't learned. Like, you can't put the intrinsic mindset value. So don't compare yourself to others because you don't know their mindset intrinsic value. Some people, they might be good, they might already make 100K a month, but they haven't learned certain lessons, and that's why they're gonna fall back. And so you already might be ahead, and like, for example, some people I see in the e-commerce space, they are super bad at investing, and super bad at, like, they have, like, they all the common traps that I already figured out like 2 years ago while I was doing it. But they still have more money. They are ahead of the game, but they can still do like financial fuck ups and don't be ahead anymore. And then they have to learn the lesson that I learned 2 years ago. So don't compare yourself. It can also cause, of course, pain, and there's no point in doing that. Just give yourself to speed up. You can compare yourself to people as a motivation and stuff, but again, like, 1 year ago I couldn't even start business. My parents said no, and I saw teenagers on social media making a lot of money, and the only thing I could do is just focus on my own shit. The next thing is super important. Because you basically probably heard it from David Goggins, but you didn't really understand it. It's about taking souls, right? So it's dark, it's at night. I see people on the bus station. They are tired for their job. And I'm there Monday morning, or whatever you want to call it, Monday morning. I'm so tired Monday mornings. I'm waking up Monday morning. I'm there 5 a.m. I'm sprinting 6 minute pace or whatever it is. Showing up is, running in jeans is always better than going to McDonald's with the jeans. Whatever it is, I just run, and I just look into their faces, okay? You look into their faces, quick tutorial 101, and then by running by, you just look into their tired faces, and they're like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Or it's like, oh bro, I'm going to work and he's running out there, or is he crazy, or they're like almost disgusted or something, and you take their energy. You're like, haha, watch this, and now I'm going even faster. Or they wanna laugh at you, they wanna, he's crazy, haha, what the fuck is he doing? But deep down they know it. Yeah, you're fucking out competing, and you stare into their eyes, and you stare into their soul, and you take their soul, and you're doing more than you need to have to. Like, you have, let's say you're working for a guy as a creator, and he says like, oh, this guy is a beginner, he's probably gonna not make as much money, or like your mentor or whatever it is, and you just make so much money that people are like, what the fuck, like, how did he go from that to this? And they completely underestimate it, and or like, people say, oh, okay, let's go running tomorrow, the weather is not good today, and then you just go running today and tomorrow, and then you be like, oh, okay, hey, now let's meet up for a run today. I already went like 100 kilometers yesterday, and like, what the fuck? And now I'm gonna run with you again, because I'm outworking everybody, and here I am. I'm doing more than you. Basically break their expectations of life. Their expectations is you can only do so much, and this is normal, and this is healthy, and whatever. And then you just do more, and it's all about being too much, and being like, okay, yeah, that's normal for you, and I'm gonna on top that even more. Like, oh yeah, I worked 16 hours, have a great day, and now I'm also gonna go in the gym. Like, oh, we both work 10 hours together now, fine, and now I'm gonna also spend 6 hours working on that thing. Like, go do your rest day. Like, it's like, haha, I'm out competing you. Haha, I'm not doing that bullshit. I'm here working. Or, you just break people's expectations. Um, the next thing I noticed, by the way, if you don't appreciate the artists of our time, please leave a like for this beautiful art. I think it deserves it. We go to the next lesson. It's getting confronted with things you don't want to hear. So, I give you an example. Uh, Crypto, when I wanted to focus on dropshipping, crypto hype went high. I just quit stocks, sold everything so I can focus and spend on mentorship and stuff. People in the school suddenly, oh, crypto hype, buy this, do that, I'm gonna retire off crypto. And like all these things you don't want to hear, right? The next, no, and also drop shipping. Like, I couldn't do drop shipping, my parents said no, and suddenly people in the sports, where you change clothes and stuff before the class, people started talking about eBay dropshipping and stuff, and I was like, maybe I can do that. But you always get confronted with things you don't want to hear because you can't do them right now. Or I was having to give my teacher a letter about that I want to start a business because you need like school allowance if you are under 18. She didn't approve it at the end, but basically I had to give her the letter, and it was at that lesson where I prepared that letter where like the entire front row was talking about founding a business. Like, it was all these consequences where you get, you have distractions, or you get confronted, or you hear things and you're like, oh, I'm glad it's not in my life, and then it enters your life, like, the next few weeks, and you're just like, okay, I guess I have to confront myself with that. So always confront yourself with the things. And yeah, the next thing is visualization. So you need a vision board. I have a little folder. It opens up big images, and that way I, have like things where I see myself, or people that I look up to, or like situations that are metaphorically, the image of Neo holding up the bullets. I kind of visualize the bullets as all these imaginary problems, and you're just like with your mind, no, this is not real. It's only code. And then you basically block the bullets, right? So you have different visualizations. I also have like one picture of Cristiano Ronaldo with a six-pack, and you can watch through that. You can always have your little vision board. You can also print it out, and also for this visualization, a part of that is also breaking down your goals, right? So you say to yourself, okay, where do I want to be in 12 years from now? Okay, in 12 years I want financial freedom, I don't know, 10 million a year with revenue in a company. So where do I have to be in 5 years from now? Like, what systems do I have to have in place? What skills do I need to learn? For example, hiring and having like 100 employees, okay, bad. And then 3 years from now, where do I have to be in 1 year from now? Okay, 1 year from now I have to have like certain success to get people hired, so I need 100k, okay, whatever. And then you say, okay, in the next 6 months, what do I have to do that I can achieve this goal in a year? And then break it down also, okay, for 100k, how many orders are that, what AOV, what conversion rate, how many views, like what do I have to do, what skills do I need to learn, and then in the next 6 months. So break everything down like that in your life situations, and then what you have to do to achieve these life situations. So you break it down like that, and I will probably give you more examples for that, because I had this like with every part of my life in future videos. So this is a thing, and for the after action report, I'm gonna also make a specialized video about that, because it's all about analyzing your failures. So this is something very unique. The next thing is, obviously, if you see yourself manifesting, it's not only about looking at pictures, it's also about living the lifestyle already. Like, maybe you should move out and then say, okay, I can only afford this apartment if I make this business work. So you kind of have time pressure, right? I don't know if like this should actually be a clock, but whatever. Like, you have time pressure, and or you already living your life, you could already gift someone something, you could buy something expensive, like just live the lifestyle of someone that has a lot of money. Then you're like, oh, I like this, I should earn more money. Like one thing I always talk about is I would get my friends gambling addicted, so they start printing money, so they have more money to gamble. Like this. I don't have any friends right now, but this is something I talk about in my mind. I'm going crazy, but basically this is something you can do. You can just give yourself some reason to make more money. Just already live a little, go into expensive, even if it's like 20% of your money and stuff. Just get your income up. Um, um, then you need to do it basically. So the next thing, also like a major lesson that really like changes the way you look at life, is there's happiness and there's like pessimism, or like sadness, whatever you want to call it, or like just pain. Pain could be the better call for it. And it always equals out. So there's like just in your brain that happiness always gets equal out with pain. So if you eat a lot of, let's say you eat a lot of pizza, right, at some point you're gonna feel more pain just automatically in your brain. So what you should do instead of all this fake happiness from like short-term dopamine, make something that gives you a little pain, because you gonna have this pain anyways. It's like it's a force. So you rather have that pain with good things. So make it green, like working out, like running, or like lifting weights, or working, right? We're gonna make a computer. So all this pain, because then your pain is spent on the right things, and then you are already more happy, basically. So make the pain good. The next thing is always see yourself from third person. Okay, so imagine this yourself, and you just look at yourself from third person, and especially analyze your mind. Just let your thoughts flow through your mind, because they are just coming up as you receive inputs. Let your thoughts flow and just perceive them. You're not attached to them. It's not your thoughts. They just come from inputs. Just analyze them from a third person. Be like, that's weird that you're thinking that. Are you getting weak right now? Do you want to do this bullshit? Just perceive it. Also, of course, your actions. Like, why are you doing certain things? What thought led to that behavior? Just always analyze yourself and your thoughts, and that way you can really improve. Like, see yourself as a little lab rat, in an experiment, like in your little box, and just how you can improve yourself. Be like, I thought this today, and these are the thoughts. And you can even, when I started recording this, I set myself in a channel to really, okay, my thoughts, I want to be my thoughts to provide as much value as possible, like have as much input as possible for the viewer. And then I basically, I think about, okay, what, like, just when you run and you want to give up, just be like, okay, interesting, I want to give up right now. Why is that? Why? Like, just perceive, just view your mind, and see what comes up, and that way, when you analyze, you can actually get better. The next thing is actually write down your shit. Write down the things that come to your mind. Write down your ideas, or your things that you have to do. Like, be ready to have your ideas written down. Don't store them in your head. Your head is to have some more space to come up with ideas. So always when you have ideas, you can have notes, you can have WhatsApp chats, anything that you can store ideas on. So always store them and be ready for new thoughts. The next thing, and this is the last thing, and after that I'm gonna give you one more tip at the end, what you should do to improve your life, like today, because all of these mindset lessons, they are long term, right? You can't change them from today to tomorrow. It's ways of perceiving your mind, and there's like way more to it. And at the end of the day, watching a YouTube video won't help you. You have to actually adapt and actually implement it. So, but at the end, I'm gonna give you a concrete tip that you can implement right after the video, and you should. So the last thing is, nobody cares about your things, right? About your success, and about like you have to always couple your outcome with the outcome of the people that you are working with, basically, or that you have the same interest. So it's a double road principle. Like um, that you drive safely also impacts the drivers that come from the other direction, right? So so um, you have an incentive that he also drives the right way, because otherwise you would crash, right? Or let's say you are sitting in the same car, this would basically mean the same thing. So always set up some sort of incentive to couple your success either with an affiliate link in business, right? But it's also other things, like always this two road principle. It's always like the most important, obviously, in business. um, so the last thing that I want to give you is, make a list of all your inputs, okay? Your podcasts, the people you talk to, the people that tell you things, the things you see, like every input that could get that on a daily basis gives you new ideas, new information, like everything. And then list what your mind perceives as an authority, or a trustworthy person, because only if you are aware of your inputs you can actually analyze and adjust them, and maybe ignore some inputs, or be more aware of them. And that way, you signal out the noise and focus on the things that you actually want to, because the inputs, they're gonna define everything in your life. And there's so much more mindset lessons, this like barely covers maybe 1%, but it's super important ones if you actually starting out, you want to improve your mind. And I hope this video helped you. I hope you go out there and adapt, because your mind is truly an art form, and treating it is the most life-changing thing you can do. So I hope this video helped you. I hope let me know any questions you have in the comments. You can now see on the other side of the screen another video that might help you. I made more in-depth videos on the channel about all these topics, and I wish you a great day and a peaceful day, and keep your mind in check.